So go get sponsored by White Claw.
Yep, I was actually going to throw that out there. Didn't this White Claw, if you're hearing, listening, just watching this,
absolutely.
We are open for business.
Business. So, welcome back. Today we are speaking with Erica Jarbo, our producer and set director.
The third bearded realtor behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm happy I have a little less hair.
Yes, yeah. No, you balance it out very well. I think me and Jason have dominated.
Enough hair to go around, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
They were good. But I guess, again, for those who don't know, like Erica does do a lot of the behind the scenes marketing for us. She helps set all this up so that way Biagio and I can do what we do on top of video editing and syncing everything,
right.
And
we have no idea if any of this is recording, so at the end, if we have to redo it, we will have to. So, Erica, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
To add on to a little bit of what Jason said, could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Yeah, so I work with Choice Gateway and Partners as the director of marketing. With that, I've gotten to grow a lot of my expertise, not only just from social media marketing, but now through B Productions has helped me kind of set up this video room, and I get to do awesome podcasts and videos with guys like you. So that's one part of my job, but a lot of it is just brand management and marketing for the real estate team here.
And how did you get into that? Were you always into that? Were you,
No, so I actually majored, I was pre-med. I was going to go be a doctor. And then I took kind of, the infamous gap year after college. And I worked in a restaurant and had a really good mentor, Josh and Tommy. And they kind of introduced me to the world of marketing, which I loved. So I actually started out marketing for breweries and restaurants. And then I fell in love, and moved to Frederick, Maryland from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
To be clear, she didn't fall in love with Frederick, Maryland. She found someone, right?
Yes.
Mike, and
yes.
And Mike is
fell
one
in
who
love
actually
in, I guess.
Yeah.
Fell in love in.
Yeah, fell in love in. No, so we met in Rehoboth. And he was there on vacation, and he knew a guy friend of mine, and we met. And then he is from here, Urbana. So I moved here kind of in the middle of COVID, and he knows Troyce and Joe and Dan, kind of small world, and got me the job here. So, and that kind of just evolved into director of marketing, which I'm super thankful for.
Yeah, I mean, you've come a long way, like the multiple positions and how you've grown since you started. Like initially how you started was directly under Dan, right? And now you're just focusing on like his production and listings and marketing for him, and then now you have your own title and your own little, I guess, I won't say program, but department, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a one-man team. Marketing here is a one-man team.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got started.
So what would you say the difference is off the top of your head between the marketing department for a brewery versus the marketing department for the TGP brand?
Yeah, so obviously, beer is a niche kind of thing, but it's more to the masses than real estate is. So you're only really looking at real estate if you're in the market for real estate. With breweries, you can kind of sell a lifestyle and sell what that means, what each beer means, not just the taste of the beer, but what it means to go to that restaurant and to that brew pub. And same with all the other restaurants that I worked with. With real estate, I had to learn real estate. Like I knew beer. Like I graduated college. Like I learned a lot through that, but like I had no idea.
To be a doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Tracks.
I had to learn a lot about the real estate market. And that's why I'm so thankful that I came in kind of very humbled and in a position that had nothing to do with marketing, because I learned a lot about the actual transaction of a real estate team. So when I do these videos with you guys or market our team, it's a little bit easier because I know what it means to be a real estate agent, even though I've never been one, but I also know the transaction, and also purchasing a house myself with this team. I know what it means to work with someone from Choice Gateway and Partners.
Side.
Yeah, from a client side. So I think that really, it was definitely different for sure, but I mean, I fell in love with it. So I like houses.
Yeah.
I like owning real estate.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Who doesn't?
And a lot that comes with it too, because I mean, now you know the importance of marketing when it comes into real estate, just because it's not like you can just throw up some not updated house or like outdated
Right.
house, you could say, and then just think, oh, this is just going to do great. Like, you are a very key player in what we do here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
because
you.
I mean, it helps like setting things up, and then and helping marketing just the agents, myself and Biagio, just in general to help boost our productivity.
Yeah. So and then that comes like kind of multifaceted too, is like marketing not only the team itself, but all of you as individual agents as part of our team, because you all have your own brand and who you are. So I like to show that too, because you're here for a reason. And it's because we all kind of have our own brands that fall into this bigger picture brand.
Right. Yeah. That's
And
pretty interesting.
not only that, just the people, but the houses are their own brand too. So each house you guys walk into is totally different, and it deserves its own kind of marketing plan as well.
Okay. Yeah. And kind of leading up to when you're approaching content creation or marketing materials or campaigns and all that, what is your strategy when creating those campaigns for the brand?
Yeah, so I was always taught, and it always worked for me. I kind of fall into these 5 buckets. So I created 5 topics for TGP, and every single thing that I put out falls into those buckets. People might think, they're just posting to post things, but, everything falls into my long-term goal. So my buckets are either it's team, community, listings, because they're their own kind of thing, real estate expert, so that's real estate knowledge, it's factual information, and then the 5th one is TGP homes / like the TGP way, like what we do differently than anyone else. So everything that I post always falls into those 5 categories.
Okay.
And that kind of helps me to compartmentalize and create a calendar around the information that I put out.
Right. And so this was pretty interesting. A while back we were in here and you had mentioned you were just talking a little bit about social media, Instagram and all that. And you said it's not so much now about the likes. You said it was more about view time. You said that the average attention span is so short that most people aren't even taking that extra second, and it blew my mind. And I realized that that's kind of the way that I am going to as well. Scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, liking stuff on the inside, but not on the outside.
Yeah.
So, right. So without that, what metrics do you focus on to determine whether or not a campaign or a post is successful or is reaching or is doing what you want it to do?
Yeah, so there is 2 that I look at. So reach is one of them. So that's it kind of shows you how many people you've touched with that video or with that post, and that can far exceed the number of people that you have as your followers if you're not private, because that comes up on the Explore page. So just seeing how many people have actually seen that. And then the big thing is just shifting that from reach to engagement. So you want people engaging with who you are, with your brand, with that topic even. Because nowadays, people aren't scrolling and creeping like they used to all the way through your Instagram feed to find out from the first post who you are. Your 6 videos, you have to keep so current and make sure that as soon as they go to their page, they know who you are, what you sell, what you're doing, what you're about. We don't have the attention. I think COVID did that. I think that everything moved so far from like static information and long captions. While those are important and people are still going to read those, it keeps them on your page a little longer. You got to be quick with what you want to say and put it out there.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you are really good at, like, saying we have like an event or something goes on. I feel like you're all over it. like making sure that, okay, we got to upload something, let it be known, and then also engagement. Like I watched the post from our TGP page, and I'm like, oh, like Erica's all over it, commenting, making sure that, we are engaging and reaching out to people.
Well, so that's another point. Yeah, like engagement, people engaging with us. But in order to get that, you have to engage with others. Like, I think Troy said, like, play nice in the sandbox, but like engage with other people that are like you and and so that way, like, you've developed, a two-way street there. So that's only going to increase the algorithm, I don't know what Google does. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So I guess, are you not necessarily just commenting, like people are commenting on the post and then you're commenting right back to like replying.
Yep.
But are you reaching out, would you suggest to reach out to comment on other people's posts with, like, I guess, would that create an algorithm or have an effect on the algorithm to bring people back to your page?
100%. I would do both. I would comment back immediately. You always want to comment back or like when people comment on your things, but also go to their page. And if they're not already like super engaged with you, comment on something that they did that was cool. Like, this is so cool, Biagio. Like, I would love to learn more. Or go on your explore page and just find stuff that you like. My whole thing is like home remodeling. Like, that's just my explore page. And I go and comment. If I were going to be a home designer and start my own page, I would go and comment on those and be like, this is awesome. Love the paint color you used here.
Yeah.
And it just gets people to see, like, how else would they see you?
That you're a real person and you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought about like going through my explore page, like-minded things, and then commenting, on that. Now, what about if, like, say, because we've made posts before and it says, promote this on this one page. Now, would you want to reply back to something like that where it looks like it may be a bot or something that's just like...
Yeah, most of those are bots, but
But
what's it hurt?
I guess,
like,
right?
what's it
I
hurt?
guess so.
Like, I get it all that promoted on Maryland Homes. Like, okay, here's a photo of our listing.
Sure.
This is how much it costs. This person listed it. Like, it's public information.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So share it. Like,
because I always look at that
Just
whenever
getting it out
they're not.
there.
They can't steal your social security number from your like.
Well, I don't know. I guess my first thought is like my
Yeah.
defense, my guard goes up like, oh, this is a bot. I'm not wasting my time with this. But
Sure.
realistically, like if you're posting it on that page, I mean, maybe someone is following it, and I don't know, maybe it does have an effect with the algorithm to bring more people back to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it be your number one strategy.
But in a way, it can't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
So, now things obviously change, right? Jason and I have fell into the stupid face thing. Now
You got to
right?
stay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So it's
Speaking
like,
of which, we need to update mine. I'm noticing you're
yes,
using
we're gonna have to do
reoccurring
another
ones.
photo shoot. We need some more.
Well, Biagio is the one that edits it, so he just stands in front of his mirror like.
Yeah, because I notice you get a new one every single time. I'm like, gosh, this is like my sixth time using this one.
What do you guys think about the faces? The faces. Should we do more? Should there be variety? We're gonna get to the bottom comments below.
Let me know.
Somebody somewhere must have come up with that idea that it was, it worked or whatever, because I see it all over the place and I don't hate it. It's kind of fun and it, gives a little bit of a,
Humor.
Yeah, a little bit of a humor and it stands out on the page. And so aside from that, what are some of the other trends that you're seeing now? How do you stay current on those trends? And what platforms are you finding are the most effective?
Yeah, so I think the biggest trend, and it's been around for like I would say like about a year. I mean, well, since TikTok came out, short form content, quick videos, but even that is evolving from what it once was. So I love TikTok. I think it's great. Some people will hate it, but I also love Instagram Reels. Like, there's just wherever you want to be, make that your focus. Like, don't try to spread yourself thin and start posting, I'm going to be the Facebook star. I'm going to be the TikTok star. I'm going to be YouTube, Instagram. Like, yes, utilize your same content and spread that between them, but really focus on where you want to grow, because each one has their own trend within their sites. So, but overall, I would say short form video content is really the biggest trending thing, and we've heard this for a while, but the way that that's put out is even changing. So it started off as like funny little dances, and the comment was like funny little dances with Doritos and like, let's sell Doritos. Like, but now that's evolving from that to people really want, as much as filters and things like that, people really want to see authenticity. The getting ready videos, like I don't know if that's on yours because you're not women, but getting ready videos of girls just doing their makeup and then they plug in what products they're using.
Right.
It's not a whole video about using Tarte cosmetics. It's a real person talking about their day-to-day getting ready. Like I'm influenced by a college girl. Like I am influenced by a girl get in college doing, but she's telling me about her life in college. And then she's like, oh yeah, by the way, use this mascara. And like, just like what you guys are doing, you're real estate agents. That's what you do. But this, it's like, hey, look at all of these things that we're doing in our community and we're having fun with it. But hey, we also sell real estate. So buy a house from me.
It excites me because the next thing that we're doing, was it today or even Friday? Like the next thing that we're going to tie it together to our page. I don't want to give it away right now because I think it's going to be really cool. But it's
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. But it was just like you talking about that, the very like the short, quick responses or videos or whatever of us just doing whatever it is we're going to do. I feel
being authentic, getting out there, doing stuff that you enjoy, because that's when you're going to show up best. I mean, do you feel like sometimes the trends start to change when they do become more, you mentioned Doritos, where it's like all of a sudden the corporate, it comes too corporate, then does it become where it's like, oh, that's not cool anymore, we need to come up with something else? Or does that, when it goes out of style?
You look like a sellout. Like
Yeah.
I've seen a couple people, not like, I don't know, like I follow, I don't know if you know, like John and Alex on Instagram or whatever. Like they ended up moving out to like California. Next thing you know, you just see them sponsored by White Claw and like all these other big name brands, and I'm like, I don't really know if I want to watch them anymore. Like,
well, exactly. Like their business plan has evolved now.
Yeah.
So they're not as well. They're still being authentic and true to themselves. Their business plan has changed.
Yeah.
So they've gotten bigger clients. They've gotten bigger sponsorships, and like, and it's ebbs and flows. Like those people then become a little bit less relatable, but you still want to aspire. Like you still see, they're not as relatable, but you look at them and you're like, oh, they're really cool. Like they really did the darn thing.
Right.
So like you'll find you'll find a new one that is, just starting out and you can really relate to them. Or maybe you grow and maybe you now are at that level of the people that you once, that's the hope, right?
Right.
Yeah.
To get to follow along with these people's journeys and then to be where they are.
Yeah.
And so you're on that same playing field. So it's just kind of, it's all about, you could either just sit there being the person that's influenced by these, new and upcoming influencers every day. Or what if like you want to go and influence someone?
That's true. Like find your thing and like stick with it, right? Like this is, you and I, this is what we do. This is who we are, and this is how we do it and what we do. And then it's our thing. And then it could be the next thing that sticks, and other people are doing something like that too. And then
and if you're ever and it's building a brand loyalty too. Like if you guys ever get sponsored by White Claw, I'll still be your number one fan. Okay.
So we should take the money. Always take the money.
Always say
like
yes.
just in your authenticity, like you're developing a brand and you're developing loyalty and people that know, like, and trust you. You do it every day with real estate. So, you're never going to be those people that people don't want to watch unless you let it get to your head. And then no one wants to watch you.
So I know you, we talked a little bit about it earlier where you said, you mentioned COVID had an influence and short form videos and trending and all that. How have you seen social media marketing changing over the past couple of years? And in terms of strategies, in terms of trends, in terms of reach and importance, and, how has it changed over the past few years and kind of where do you think it might be going?
Well, I mean, for starters, I'm the director of marketing for a real estate team. I don't think that was a thing 3 years ago. Like, and if it was, they were kind of ahead. Like, businesses are now putting importance on their marketing plans and their strategies, and they need someone to keep a pulse on those things because it is ever changing. It is the fastest growing profession, I'm pretty sure, this year. I think digital marketing is like number one for money made, which I don't. I swear I'm not number one. They make a lot more money than I do.
She thought about that halfway through and she went, oh, wait.
But I think it's just like you said, like it's changing in the sense that businesses need to pay attention to it, and that's how people are getting their information. And even small businesses need to pay attention to it. I know it's hard because your budget isn't big, and your operations, and you are marketing, and you are the delivery driver. Like you are everything for your small business, but make sure you devote some time to keeping up with those items, or hire someone that can.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I feel like that's the biggest thing is how to do it and what you do. Because really, honestly, like marketing yourself shouldn't really be a big expense because, I mean, everyone's got like where's your phone?
Yeah.
It's right there. So it's really just what do you say, what do you do? Because this is what's going through my brain, which is why it's like since day one you started, you've been getting on all of us like marketing was up until Biagio and I started doing these videos.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, Erica's right. We should do these videos.
Thank you.
But I guess where I'm getting at it, I guess for like the people who do have small businesses or whatever it may be, it's really figuring out what to do, what to say, and how to post it to get the engagement or get the views or whatever.
Yeah. And I think it's the first step is getting comfortable with it. I don't, and I might rub some, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to just be yourself, put yourself out there. That's hard. Sorry. Putting yourself out there is hard. But actually clicking post, it's not. You upload and you post. And people will know, like, and trust you if they know, like, and trust you. You gotta just put, this first step is being confident enough to put your information and yourself in your business. Like, you have developed this business for yourself and you're really passionate about it. Share that with the world. People like stories, lifestyle brands. People want to relate to something. We have this innate need in our anatomy to want to be a part of something. And to have a pact of people that are similar to us. So put yourself out there and you will see that brand loyalty from people that know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, and it's like, this is the exact opposite. Well, I'm sorry, of the Twitter comment section, right? It's like normally when you think of the internet and it becomes 10, 15 comments down, all of a sudden the story's starting to change.
Yeah.
You don't want to be 10 or
Telephone,
15 comments.
yeah.
You don't want to be 10 or 15 comments down because that's when, but what you just
That's
said
a rabbit
is,
hole for sure. Like
Yeah.
I've fallen down like 10, 15 comments like what's going on?
where did this
Yeah.
start from, a cat video?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Or
how
the
we
people
ended up
that
here.
comment on, like, famous people's videos and, like, do you ever read those? Oh my gosh.
Sometimes
They're so
that's my
mean.
entertainment for the day.
Like, I'm like, you took time. But I mean, you want those people to comment nice things on your stuff.
Right, exactly.
Well, if you look at the time signature too, like I was watching a podcast about it, you can see like people have been arguing with each other on this one post all day long, like just
All
8
day.
hours
They
about
want to be a
something.
part of something, good or
Yeah.
bad.
Yes,
Like, they want to
that's
be.
true.
Misery does love company, but happy people
I feel
love
like-
company too.
Yes. So what you were explaining is like the positive side, and I feel like a couple of years ago, and there were a few like celebrities that would intentionally post stuff for fighting in the comments because the negative comments would get more action, and then over and over and over reposting, and they would fight for 3 days straight, and all of a sudden that's engagement. That counts as engagement. So the algorithm sometimes could favor.
Work in that favor.
Right.
I mean, the smartest marketing people I know, you wouldn't believe some of the stories that like they've concocted to be able to be like
Controversial.
relevant. Like, think about the publicists for any famous person. Like, they're pretty creative in the things that they make them do to get in the news.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like if we all were just operating our lives by like it, we would never have news.
Yeah.
Like so yeah, and I mean, what do they say? No publicity is bad publicity.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But-
yeah, because I think like after like hearing you talk about it a lot, really at the end of the day, I think it is just don't care what other people are thinking. You know, like you said, the easiest thing to do is just to hit that record button and then upload it.
And stay true to
yourself.
who you are.
Yeah.
And just be, like you said, be yourself, and then just don't care. And then, sure, if you want some feedback, get some criticism, and then try differently again. Because, like, I'm just thinking in my mind as like you're talking about it, like our day one, whenever we first started doing like the videos, a different setup than where it is now, different angles.
And we've had fun doing it. We've had fun coming in here and changing
Yeah.
things up. And that's the fun part of it. If we came in
Yeah.
here and did the same thing, then you could see it getting stale. But I love creating stuff and doing all this.
And at first, like,
this
I
is so
was a
much
little
fun.
skeptical because I was like, oh, because I didn't want to put myself out there thinking like, oh crap, what are all these people going to think? Nobody really wants to hear me talk about real estate or whatever.
Right.
And then like
We love hearing you
and then
talk.
we did it, and then I'm like getting all this great feedback. I'm like, oh, people actually
Right.
don't mind hearing my voice. Or
Oh, I could be
Yeah.
that person
Yeah.
too. I could be that guy on YouTube too who's talking about all
Yeah.
that stuff. And with that said, aside from us, who locally, what local business or what local brand do you feel is doing a great job on social media? What local brand do you really enjoy their social media presence?
So restaurants kind of have my first love. So I
You
would
didn't
say
say Troy
all
Skatewood and
start out-
Partners.
no. Well,
Oh,
I do think I'm
we'll cut
doing.
that out.
I think I'm doing. Doing. I think I'm doing a
Comment below.
great job. But as far as other local businesses, I really love Tasting Room. I think they put out great pictures of their food. They share their staff. It's not for restaurants. I've always felt like, share your team.
Yeah.
Because their turnover rate in restaurants is so high, but they like share who you are as a restaurant, not just the beautiful food that you make. So I think they do a really good job of that. The Velvet Lounge in downtown Frederick. They're
I don't even know about them.
it's not a restaurant. Sorry, moving on. It's a boutique. So close.
That explains it.
But they do a really great job of sharing their clothes, but also their people in their clothes. People love people. We don't work with him too often, but in our kind of realm, the Frederick Home Inspector.
Yeah, that guy is all over his social media presence. Man.
Yeah.
He does a pretty good job at like the videos that you can tell this dude, if you haven't followed him, follow him. Because he like doing a little bit of plug for you, man. But he does have a good social media just because I think like he takes a lot of the time into his marketing, which
Yeah, and they're quick. Like he takes videos of him like at the houses, and it's
teams up with other realtors. They have a whole thing that they got going on.
Yeah, so I think he does a really great job.
I'll do one. So White Rabbit is because
Yes.
it's one of my favorite places
Another
to
one.
eat downtown, and every time I go on social media and then they of course have a post or a story, I'm like, oh crap, now I want pizza.
Yeah, I think food's kind of an easy one, right? It's
yeah.
Like, you take a good picture of her at the right time, it's like, I'm sold.
Well, not only that, it's just like Erica said, they're engaging, they're having their employees a part of it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about White Rabbit is that they are tied to Rad Pies and Williamsport, so like sometimes they go hand in hand with each other. So, but it's really cool on how they interact with.
So in a way, like a social media presence, social media brand, if you are incorporating your team, you can almost bring the company closer together in that kind of way.
Yeah, it's all about a brand loyalty and brand loyalty with the outside, but also internally too.
Right.
Like
you gotta show that,
give love to receive love. So you gotta like appreciate your employees. So sharing them and their accomplishments, or just sharing them like you go places for the brand and the experience and the lifestyle. And so restaurants have a really great opportunity because every time you go there, you might get a different experience with a different server, bartender. I mean, with real estate, you're going to get a different experience. You guys have talked about this with every real estate agent. Right. So my job and your job as real estate agents is to say what type of experience you're going to give this person. What type of person are you?
Right.
Like, do I like you? Like, as a person, am I going to buy a house from you? Are you, plus, are you a really good real estate agent?
So by putting it out there, you can kind of, and being authentic, you're attracting people that are like you.
Yeah.
Right? You're attracting the type of clientele, you're attracting the type of people that you would want to come into your business or do business with you.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So go get sponsored by White Claw.
Yep, I was actually going to throw that out there. Didn't this White Claw, if you're hearing, listening, watching this,
absolutely.
We are open for business.
Business. You touched on a lot of really good ideas, and like to sort of wrap it up and put it all together. what would you say your main tips would be for a small business who wants to increase their social media presence, and it's just them, like you said, they're driving the trucks, they're stocking the shelves, they're doing all this, and now they also have to be their own marketing. What are some of those tips that you feel could help them elevate, from where they are now to?
So, I mean, I would go back to that business plan that you put into place, and then go back and find those 5 content buckets that I spoke about earlier. Find those 5 content buckets, whether that's your team, whether that's the food that you put out. What are those 5 things that anything you post can fall into? And then just develop a strategy around that. If it's not in those 5 buckets, don't think about it. Don't post it. Don't share it. If it doesn't fall into those 5, because that's how you're going to create a brand standard and a brand loyalty for yourself. So I think that's the easiest tip I can do, because I think it's the first step.
Yeah, and if I want to play back, kind of piggyback off that, like, because this is what works for me, is don't overthink it. Like you said, be yourself, stick to those 5 categories, and then just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just
do it. Just
Nike. Another plug. Nike.
plug.
Just do it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I think we're actually about Mac. I don't know if you have any more questions, but we are over our time limit
We
for today.
are over time limit.
We have a lot.
We
to
don't have
talk
anyone
about.
running the camera if she's over here. So we
No
have
one to flag us down and be like, "Hey guys, it's been over 30 minutes."
Well,
Absolutely.
thank
yeah.
you guys so much.
Thanks for
This has
coming
been fun.
on.
Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on.
we loved it.
Jason, take us away. Let them
Yeah, as always,
what
if you
they're
guys have any questions, any concerns, any stories, anything at all, is there something that you want to see? If you want to reach out to Erica for marketing tips, is that something you're open to?
Yeah, sure.
We don't know if you want to put your information out there, but
Yeah,
Come
you
by
can
the
just
website.
Yeah, you
See
can
all her beautiful work.
yeah. Another plug. Again, Erica has helped put on a golf tournament, right? Should we go ahead and throw that out there because you are?
Yeah.
that
So,
marketing?
TGP Gives, which is our nonprofit that I also do marketing for, is putting on our 3rd annual TGP Gives golf tournament and social, and tickets go on sale March 1st, which by the time this episode will be up, this will be out.
Yeah.
So log on to troyskatewood.com/TGP Gives Golf and get your tickets, or text TGP Gives Golf to 41444.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds all right. Oh, good.
Yeah, we're all good.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
See
listening.
you guys next time.
We'll see you guys next time.
Sweating.
Yeah.